Hey, hello, hello, hello. Come on in. We have a lot to discuss today. And if you're looking at the replay, one of the things I'm going to be talking about is a member of the family, close person who's aware of the family, reached out to me. And I'm going to be sharing with you guys the message that they wanted me to convey for clarification on the family. Because for some reason, we're getting, hey, Raven, how you doing, honey? For some reason, we're getting a lot of confusion on the dynamics of Kimani's family, the mother who raised Kimani and all of that. So out of the blue, someone was gracious enough to reach out from the family and gave me information that I'm going to share with you all today. But right now, what I have on my screen, guys, we're going to be talking about a few things today. A few things. We're going to be talking about Keimani. We're going to be talking about Darnell, Jarvis, and all of that. Hey, Sunshine. Good afternoon. And then I also want to talk about some stuff that I just happened over the week that I'm almost 100% sure is related to mental health. But look, really quickly, before we do that, we're going to be skipping around. I want y'all to see this really quickly. And then I want to pause and then go to something that I saw recently that happened, I think, the day before yesterday, regarding a son and the mother. Y'all may have already heard this about what happened, but I know it's related to mental health, and I want to talk about that, and then we're going to jump back into Kimani. But what we have on my screen right now is here is the tribute, and they ended up having to remove the tribute from where it took place to another destination because they are the Ohio, Toledo, is suddenly inspired. Hi, hello. Welcome from Australia. Ohio is suddenly inspired to demo the house. Isn't that something? This thing probably been sitting there for I don't know how long. And now they are inspired all of a sudden to demo. Isn't that something? Oh, Felicia, you know what I'm talking about? What I'm about to talk about? Yes. I want to talk about that really quickly because y'all know on my channel, if you're just popping in, my name is T Styles. I have been writing psychological thrillers for over 20 years full time, and I create movies under Cartel Urban Cinema. We just released one called It's Never About the Game. If you haven't watched it on Tubi, please do so. As well as I just uploaded it on YouTube too. But one of my most controversial books is Raunchy, which is about a little girl who was subject to a PDF early in life and became a horrible mother. So with that always in mind, whenever I run into issues where I see mental health is an issue, which it was in my book, it proves my point that until we get our mental health together, it's going to always be an issue. But anyway, I want us to look at this really quickly. So they're moving Keimani's tribute from in front of the house to across the street. Okay, I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to tell you what, guys, why in a minute. I'm going to pause. Hello. I'm going to pause really quickly right here. Let me pause. Okay, really quickly. And I want us to look at something because, y'all, we got to get this stuff together. People want y'all to believe that people that do the kind of things they do are well. I don't believe it for one bit. Okay, so look at this case. Have y'all heard about this case? The North Carolina man was released from prison. A week later, he fatally unalived his mom and brother. Have y'all heard about this case? If y'all have, let me know. Let me know if y'all heard about this case. So let's go through it. This just recently happened in North Carolina. So a North Carolina man allegedly, like I said, his mother and his teenage brother, 1 week after he was released. Now, she was so excited, y'all, to have him come home. Like, she was really excited about it. Deron Jenkins, 25. He's only 25. He's a baby. Has been charged with first-degree unaliving in connection. And this happened on March 31st. Now, officers responded to the home about 5:30 p.m. that day, where they found Dana and her son Darren. Now, the police confirmed to ABC that the woman is the suspect's mother and the boy is the brother. And so this story is still developing. But when I started researching this, I want y'all to see some of the comments, because I believe that they knew that he was not well and they allowed him to come home anyway. Without mental health therapy or whatever, like they call prisons, some prisons are still called rehabilitation, but nobody's doing any rehabilitation. Nobody's doing any rehabilitation. So I want to put this back on my screen. So Dana Jenkins, my baby is home. My baby's home. She was so excited about her baby coming home. I'm gonna put this on and pause really quickly because I want y'all to see what her text message is, what her Facebook upload is. I want y'all to look at this. This is what she said, y'all. My baby home, my MF baby home. My baby is home. Lord, I thank you. This is what she put on her Facebook on March 25th. On March 31st, she's no longer here. Yes, Raven should have never been released. And when I started looking at some of the comments, everybody said that he had mental health issues in prison. But instead of doing something about it, they allowed him to come home, and now look what happened. This is crazy. This is crazy. And we love our monsters. By we, I mean people. People love to have a villain. Matter of fact, I think one of the worst things that happened to us when we were children are superhero stories, where you got your hero and you got your villain. And the reason why I say that is one of the worst things that happened to us is because it neatly packages everything. If you do evil, you automatically a villain. And I'm not saying you don't have an evil spirit. I'm not saying there's no such thing. We've all seen where darkness can go. But even in some of the cases that we talk about with the darkness, which we're going to get into, we know that there's some kind of mental health things. But when we automatically believe that there's heroes versus villains, we don't take care of stuff like this. We could see this woman clearly loved her son, and yet here we are. And this is another situation that happened recently. Some of y'all heard about this one. Again, mental health. I'm going to show it to y'all. Have y'all heard about the Satirica? And I believe his name is Tracy. Tracy, I'm going to pull it up. Where he at? Y'all, this man unalived his wife. And I'm going to put it on the screen so we can see. He unalived his wife. This is their marriage ceremony. I think his name was Tracy and her name was Satirica. Even in her face, y'all, she looked like she don't want to be there. He unalived his wife, but then unalived himself. And what makes this thing so sad is that I believe that he was in care of somebody that's mentally ill. Now he'll pop up on this video. Again, leaving a little girl, and I believe it's either his brother or his son, because they're not really clarifying on his that's him right there, y'all, on his page. Leaving them, that's his wife right there that he unalived. Leaving them alone. Like, sir, if you want to go, take yourself, but when you take her and then take yourself, there's a deeper issue there. Have y'all heard about this, Satirica and Tracy Jenkins? And I hate when men come up close. Please get back, sir. We don't need to be seeing the imperfections in the daylight with our wigs and our sew-ins. Please back up. Very annoying. But you can see, like, even in this video, look at how she's, like, wanting to get away, but he still got the camera on her. Isn't that crazy? He don't care. I believe this is a narcissist. Look at her face, y'all. Look at her face. Look at, that's a little girl that's going to be by herself. Look at they don't want to be bothered. You can tell. He just did that the other day. So this one is developing, but we almost know exactly what's happening with this. I'm telling y'all, if y'all follow my channel, y'all know I believe there is a crisis with mental health, and I stand by it. I know folks don't want to hear it, but I stand by it. My people will argue me down. Toy, that's not the case. You know, it's the demons in them, and you can have a little bit of demons. You can have a little bit of demons, but this is something different. What's going on now? And I'm thinking, because we are having so many people that are paying attention to this case, meaning Keimani Latigue's, if you're just popping in, we're looking at Keimani Latigue's, her memorial, where they unfortunately had to move from in front of the house. The house is over there, right over there, like it's by the show. They had to remove her memorial from in front of the house here. So when you continue to have cases like this, where when I share with y'all with the family member reached out, that's why my thing says new update. I believe mental health is a big issue. He was probably jealous of her. You're probably right. If you're talking about the Shaterica, I think you're right. He's probably jealous of her. I had a man like that. They don't want to see you happy. Oh. In my video that I did recently called Did Darnell and Jarvis Love Bomb? That's one of the things I said. If he was a narcissist, Sunshine, to your point, they'll take you with them. They don't care. And the reason why narcissists are so scary, especially for women who are busy, high-powered women who got jobs, who taking care of home, some of them their own businesses, is because we be so busy that when a narcissist come in and then they help you, they make things better. And so you're looking at the better that they're doing because they're paying the bill, they're doing this and the third. The whole time, they're trying to reel you in before they have it their way. So what we have here, guys, Toledo, Ohio, has made a decision to bring down the property. They are taking down the house all of a sudden. I guess they don't like the attention that it's getting. And from what I'm hearing, there's a plenty abandoned houses. But they're suddenly interested in this one. And apparently the people of Toledo are so upset that they had to do something. I'm going to show y'all what they ended up doing yesterday. They ended up saying, Waffles, please stop. Every time I get on live, you start being a hater. Okay. They had a free community support session for the community because there were so many people who were upset by what happened to Kimani that they needed a community support session. Y'all, I understand that there are some people who are really upset by this. Most of y'all who are following me are. A lot of people are. Sometimes people got a tendency, though, to idolize or then lose the point. Because you can grieve. Because this was very tragic in how it happened in the details. But the work is not done after you put the balloon down. The work is not done after, you know, she's laid to rest. The work is not done. So I'm just hoping that they turn this into something that's constructive. And the reason why I say that is I know there are a lot of girls who are little girls and little boys who are watching and like, but what about me? I've been talking to my teacher at school and nobody has done anything about me to help me. The city of Toledo is offering a free support, this was yesterday, support session to public to discuss the tragic unaliving of 13-year-old Toledo girl. Kimani Latigue's death has had a profound impact on Toledo, sending shockwaves of unanswered questions and doubt throughout the community. Whether you were personally affected or just have thoughts and concerns, the city encourages anyone who's interested to attend. So I'm just hoping, and people were saying that. They were like, okay, what about where was everybody when the teacher said something? Where was everybody when her friend said something? Okay, somebody said, Felicia said, the city of Toledo, Ohio community are asking them to tear down all the abandoned houses. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. And as a matter of fact, they were talking about having a protest. Thank you, Felicia, for letting me know. They were talking about having a protest. And I saw people being threatened. They were talking about having a protest. And when I was following this group, in the group, they were being threatened for having the protest by some, I don't know what his point was. You can't tell people how to grieve or how to handle this situation and then not to protest. Because to be honest, I like a protest. I like noise because of what's happening. So if they actually are able to tear down these houses, that's a good look. And again, I'm going to share with y'all what the person reached out that's close to the family, what they reached out for. But if they're actually able to do that, that's a good look. But on this, it says on April 2nd, which was yesterday, they had, it was free to the public. It was open to the friends and neighbors. Food as well as on-site child care service was provided. I would love to see a real, a hotline where people can actually, where kids can actually call in and say, this is happening. Because I feel like we need more of that. But let me share with y'all what was shared with me. I'm going to remove this really quickly by a member of the family. Now, I had blotted out her information because I didn't want, I tried to make it where you couldn't see who she was. Let me look at this one more time. And I wasn't having my little drink when I did it, but make sure I ain't say no names. Oh my God, that's in perspective. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, guys, so I'm going to share with you what was shared with me. I was given a permission to share this. Okay. Now, the other day, someone reached out to me. They had been watching my videos. And they say, hi, T, just watching your post. They say post with videos. I don't post about it. So I believe she's talking about the video. Ooh, or he. She or he. I'm not saying which one. They say, I prefer to remain anonymous. But she has a very inconsistent employment record. And this particular person is talking about Tiara. Dorothy did not raise Kimani until during the pandemic when the family moved on from her placement from another family member to Dorothy. So she, meaning Tiara, had a very inconsistent employment record. And Dorothy did not raise Kimani until during the pandemic when the family moved her from her placement from another family member to Dorothy. Said, I do not recall the family member's name, but that Lucas County Children's Services are aware. And this person has a lot of information. It was considered a sort of an open adoption. And files were provided. I've already redacted all of that. Tiara mentioned mental health issues within the family and specifically Dorothy. So Dorothy is on record believing to have had some kind of mental health. This is all alleged. This is all alleged, okay? But I'm blacking it out because they asked me to. And then they were saying, you are correct. This case has a lot of holes. Thanks for keeping on it. So what do we know from this? Yes, a hotline would be perfect. I would love to see a hotline. A hotline for children to call in and say, this is what's happening to me. Star said, is there a national kids hotline over there in the U.S.? So there is, but I don't think people are managing it right. I believe it really has to be at the county level. Dang. Sorry, guys. I believe it has to be on the county level. I wouldn't even say state. I would say county level. And it needs to be effective because we know in the Nazai Harris case, people keep saying, y'all, it's not the same thing. It is the same thing. We're talking about 2 13-year-old little girls. It is the same thing. But in the Nazai Harris case, dang, the city evaluated, and in Keimani's case too, they evaluated and did nothing. So we want to see these lines manned if they are going to do something. We want to see actual progress if they're going to do something. Okay, so what we got from this post, what we can tell from this post is that this person is allegedly saying that Tiara had very inconsistent employment record, and that Dorothy did not raise Keimani until during the pandemic when the family moved her from placement. That doesn't mean that she wasn't involved in taking her and giving her to the person who I believe now name is Monique. Okay, that Dorothy did not raise Keimani until during the pandemic when the family moved her from the placement from another family member. Said they do not recall the family member's name, but that Lucas, oh, I hate when that happens. But that Lucas County Children's Services know. And it was considered an open adoption. Files were provided, and Tiara mentioned mental health issues within the family, specifically Dorothy. All right, so then they went on to say the Dorothy by, if we know that Dorothy was in and out of prison. Those pictures are everywhere. Hey, Emma. All of Dorothy's children were in foster care, so how could she be able to get Keimani? It gets deeper than that, Felicia. So she was saying that when she, in the early part, when Dorothy had her career, whatever, that she was on the offender search list, not the as offenders. But everybody, that's already out there. It's pictures and stuff of Dorothy's past all over the place. So that's we know that. That she was incarcerated at least once. So as far as her delusion that she raised all of her children, she may still have been in jail when Kimani was born. But that's all a matter of public record. This is what the person is saying. And that a family member kept in touch with my, what do we call these people? Somebody tell me what you call the person that give you information that remain. I can't think of it. But she had attempted with a valiant effort and a big heart to take in all 4 of Dorothy's kids to keep them out of the system. Tiara, Sanika, the Troll, and Denitra. Those are Dorothy's 4 kids. But my person that's assisting me is not sure how long she had them. Sanika and Denitra were adopted by a woman named Millie who worked for the Toledo Police Department. But then she moved to Indianapolis. Source, thank you. You can tell. What my source is telling me. That Sanika and Denitra were adopted by a woman named Millie who worked for the Toledo Police Department. And then she moved to Indianapolis. So that explains why Sanika, when I did the thing, let me see if she's on here. Did I not put her on my thing? When that interview that Dorothy did, dang, I ain't put her on there. But the sister, I thought I did put the sister on here. Maybe not. But if you look at my video, one of my very first videos, when I did a video on the interview, the day that Dorothy was interviewed, they also interviewed Sanika. And I spelled her name wrong. But in that interview, Sanika said that she lived in Indianapolis. That would explain why she was in Indianapolis, because the woman that allegedly adopted her, named Millie, moved to Indianapolis, and she was a police officer. Okay. The family member Joy shared that Dorothy continued to talk as if all 4 of her kids were with her when they were not. So she did not raise all her children, which brings us to my point. Why do you have Keimani? In Maryland, you can't be, it's tough like to become a foster care parent or even to take a child. You can't just be coming in and just grabbing kids. If you got a pass, they go into it. So I don't know if if there are not as many people there to help, because it was daggone sure a lot of people outside of the house. It was a daggone sure a lot of people outside the house for this memorial. It was a whole lot of people out there for that. This is what we're saying. So I don't know how it's what the case is in Toledo, but based on her background, if she didn't have her children, her own children, I don't see why she had Kimani. I don't see why she had Kimani. And I don't think we're gonna find out until after this case, after Kimani. I think people are really waiting for Kimani to be put to rest. Let me see. You said, did the godmom just let Dorothy keep her? Did the godmom just let? That's what I believe, Emma. She goes on to say that the family of Joy shared that Dorothy continued to talk as if all her children were with her when Tiara and Latrobe were adopted by a family named Greer, and that LCSCS terminated Tiara, who they named Amanda, when they physically disciplined her for some bad behavior. I'm not sure what that means. And my source believes that they still raised the brother. And then right here they said, I think you can say that someone familiar with the family did that, gave you the information. Where's Dorothy now? She's probably at home. She's probably at home. I really think that we're not going to have any motion until after Kimani is laid to rest. Like, I haven't seen Dorothy, and it seems like the focus now is being put on the funeral because the home keeps changing. I don't know if y'all know, but let's look at that really quickly. Apparently, Tiara is allegedly saying that they won't even allow her to come to the funeral. Look at this, y'all. So this is by 13 Action News. Dale Rick's funeral home to host services for Keimani Lateef. Okay. 13 Action has learned that Dale Rick's funeral home will now be handling the services for Kimani. It is unknown at the time if this will be public. Y'all, I doubt very seriously if this will be public. I don't think this is going to be public at all. I believe that because it's so hot right now, they could technically do an online thing, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I hope they do because a lot of people have donated, but I don't know. But look at what Kimani's Tiara reportedly said. So Kimani's mother, Tiara Caston, told 13 Action News on Monday that she expects she won't be invited to attend the service in Toledo. She said, I haven't received an invite, which is really upsetting. She's taken my daughter whole life from me, talking about Dorothy. She's gotten a chance to be with my baby. This tragedy is what came of it. This is deep. Listen to what she's saying, because I don't know if y'all remember, but in one of my videos, I did in my last live, I talked about how Tiara says that Dorothy came and got her when she was a baby. Doesn't mean she had possession of her, because apparently there's a godmother involved, but that Dorothy had her since she was a baby. Right? So she has had her whole life. She got a chance, she being Dorothy, to be with her. And now you're not going to let her be at the service? I really hope that is not the case. This tragedy is what came of it. I just want to be able to give my kid a good send-off, and I can't do that. She's not allowing me to do that. When we talk about the reasons why Dorothy is a villain, in case anybody doesn't know, or it appears that Dorothy's the villain, it's this kind of stuff. This is still alleged, but when something like this happens, we put it to the side for Kimani's sake. You don't hold that. Like, why are you mad? Why is Dorothy so mad? You dropped the ball. You are the reason why she's not here. Not you directly, but she was in your care. And some people may say directly because he was around. You claim that he wasn't the father, or that Tiara said it, even though online Tiara said that she was absolutely he's absolutely the father, talking about Darnell. But you were the one who allowed him to be around. And now you're not going to let her be with her daughter? let's go a little bit further into it. So it says, I got another message later on Tuesday from my source. It says, Keimani's original custodial parent was named Monique. I think that was a question. We kept wanting to know who is the godmother. Supposedly a good friend of Dorothy. I don't have a last name. And somebody ended up saying it on one of my posts who it was. Apparently, at some point, she didn't want her any longer. She reportedly told Dorothy and maybe others that if she didn't take her, she was going to call LCCS and put her in foster care. This was during the pandemic. So if Dorothy gave her to her during the pandemic and then she been over there and didn't want her no more, Dorothy had to take her for whatever reason, then she's going back and forth. But who is the legal guardian? Because once you become the legal guardian, you just can't do that. You got to go through the system. I didn't know it was legal in Toledo, Ohio for a 13-year-old to stay at home alone. Who said that's legal? Let me check real quick. Let me check real quick. What is the age to be alone in Toledo? I hope it's not. I don't know. This is the only part that I have an issue with. When I was young, we was in the house. I mean, it didn't make it right, but we was in the house when we were let me stop sharing. We was in the house when we was like 9 or 10, but stuff was different then. You can't do what you used to do before. Waffle, stop being a hater. You see I'm online. Okay. So it says on this right now, let me zoom in. Can y'all see? Can y'all see this? Oh no. So let me. It says 13, 12 or 13. 12 or 13 years old. Okay. It says the Safe Kids worldwide recommends the National Safe Kids campaign suggests that children are typically ready to be left alone around the ages of 12 or 13. I agree, Corey. 12 or 13. Wow. I mean, I'm really not surprised because, again, like I said, I can recall being left alone much younger. Times are different now. I didn't know that something going to woman, Dorothy. Let's see, Dorothy, the father, and the father's cousins are going to jail. I think so. But here's the thing, Felicia, where I'm kind of confused at. If I believe Dorothy is tied directly into Toledo, because they drop if they put charges on her, and we go deep with that, then we got to also look at the fact that y'all gave Kimani to her when she shouldn't have had her. So I don't know how far they're gonna be willing to go. I don't know how far she's going to be willing to go. Jassy, I definitely agree. The whole situation is terrible. And I believe that a lot of heads are going to roll soon. A lot of heads are going to roll soon. So right now, I want to go back to this. I want to make sure that I am clear on this woman who had reached out to me to let me know what's going on in this case. I want to make sure I'm clear on that. Okay, so she's saying that Monique pretty much wanted her gone early on for whatever reason. I mean, that's not a bad age to be home alone, 13 during the day, but not overnight. Yes. Not overnight. Not sure what the situation was though. Yes. Not overnight. And they said on the document, as long as there's not any kind of cognitive situations. So there have been whispers, and all this is alleged, that Kimani may have had some kind of mental things going on. And that could be true or not true. The reason why I say it's possible to be true is because I just showed y'all on the record that my source said that Dorothy had mental issues. So it's quite possible that Kimani did have them. In addition to that, Dorothy said, and nothing was wrong with her mentally during her interview with Sanika and her when they was trying to answer to why did you drop the ball. I hadn't heard anything about any mental issues before Dorothy said something in that interview. Yes, I was a latchkey kid at a very young age too. The world is evil now. There's a lot of darkness going on and too much access. This is the other thing. When I was coming up, being 51, when I was coming up, there was no social media. There was none of that. So now you can get online and you have too much access to people all at once. And that's not going to be a good thing. Can Dorothy keep Kimani's mom away from the funeral? I don't see why not. Why she would. That's a good question. That's a good question. So it would have to be how bold Dorothy is willing to be. Because haven't we seen this woman in her interviews? I think they're scared of her. I think they're scared of her. I really do. I think Tiara and they're scared of her. Because one of the people that was an advocate, Prophet P.I., did a video saying that she has been known to pull out pew-pews. And I hate saying that, but I ain't trying to get whatever for YouTube. But she has been known to pull out, you know what I'm saying? My knuckles ain't whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. On people for less. So she may be scared of her, but there would be if she keeps her away, if Dorothy keeps Tiara away from her own daughter during his funeral, you talking about backlash before, and you allegedly saying to the police officers, please handcuff me and take me away. Talking about Dorothy, when Dorothy said that she told the police to put her in handcuffs and take her away. You think that they came at you for that? They definitely gonna come at you if you stop this woman from coming to her daughter's funeral. Definitely. Most states have no minimum age to be at home alone. So in Maryland, they do have an age, because I had to look it up. I forget what it is. And definitely being unattended. Waffles, come here. Come here for a second. Come here. Come. Go around the other way. This dog, whenever I try to do something on live, here he comes. Maryland does have it. Sharice, you still here? Can you check for me? You gotta have a minimum age, but is it enforced? I can't wait till the baby gets justice she deserves. This is what I'm saying, Jassy. So one of the things that I'm afraid of, and I talked about this in my last live, is if he, being Darnell, cops and says that I'm going to take all of the charges, then I don't know if everybody who's involved is going to get it. You understand what I'm saying? Because right now it looks like, now he was responsible, well, allegedly, because he still hasn't confessed yet. She said he confessed. I haven't seen anything for confess, and I keep looking. I have not seen anything that he confessed. The only thing that we saw about a confession is from Dorothy's mouth. Dorothy was the only one who said that he confessed to doing everything. Not to say that he didn't do it, but she was the only one that said it. But if he says it was all me, then we never gonna find out, because I got a feeling that Toledo wants to bury this case, y'all. I believe that they want to get rid of this. It's too many eyes on this place right now. I think Dorothy is a bully and scared because you're not keeping me from the funeral. No, you're not keeping me either from it. Yes, it's still her daughter. It's still her child. And why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Not that you shouldn't be mad that or feel kind of way that she hurt, but why are you so mad at the mother? That's your child. And I even heard her say it in this interview, in one of the interviews, that the biological mom, referring to her own child, it's like she's disconnected because she didn't have her, and Tiara was allegedly adopted out, based on what my source says. It's like she disconnected from the fact that this is your birth child. This is why I keep seeing online, people keep saying that Dorothy is Tiara's foster mother. No, that's her biological mother. Yes, pulling up, exactly, Felicia. It's why are you so mad? It's like you are trying to bully people to do what you want. If she don't let this woman come to the funeral, it's gonna be a problem. When the people, when pulled one of the volunteers who was helping looking for Kimani, yes, Jassy. So there were two people that came over to look at the abandoned house that was next to her house or something like that, because they felt like Kimani had to be in the vicinity. And Dorothy did exactly what you just said, pulled out a pew-pew on people, and everybody, let it be known. Like, why are you that mad? Why are you that mad? So when we were talking about, the other day in my video, I was talking about how this man and even Jarvis, how they pretty much are so familiar. People don't like to be talking about their familiars, how familiar they are, but they really are very familiar. They really are, to me, very much the same. Okay, very much the same. Not even in just looks. We had a whole thing come out with people saying that these guys, like, that look like, light skin or whatever, are, I guess, glamoring these women and being put in positions where they have access to children they should not have access to. But they are alike in that I believe that these are two narcissists. They do it differently, but they're pretty much the same. Sharice, what you say? Maryland law does not specify a legal age for a child to be left at home alone. However, the Maryland Department of Human Services recommends children are under 8 years old shouldn't be. Now, somebody earlier said that we need ages. Who said that? Most states. See, that's ridiculous. If nothing else, can we get a law for Kimani that say that you cannot be, you got to have an adult, unless, shoot, we even got the cameras now. If they 13 years old, that you got to be monitoring your children. Because that was the other thing. There were no cameras around Dorothy's house. I wonder why will the family run Dorothy away from the funeral? Dorothy is the one, I believe she is the one in control of it, of the services. But that don't mean, to your point, that other people won't run her away, which is why I doubt that I doubt this be public, y'all. People are so upset right now that I can see this getting, like, really, going the wrong way or the other way. Because she involved. Shouldn't pull out heat on folks trying to find your granddaughter. Why are you so mad? Like, why are you that mad? Where not that what happened, we get if the anger was against what happened, that's one thing. But why are you mad at people who are trying to help? I don't get her. I agree. There would be no keeping me away from the funeral. You're not keeping me. Yeah, like Sharice said, you're not keeping me. So the woman who apparently allegedly had her was named Monique. And that's when we kept on trying to find out the godmother. What we don't know is the dynamic between these two. Was it for paperwork? Was it for money? We don't know, because here's the thing, y'all. Tiara went on record when I let y'all listen to that tape saying that she was paying child support. So if she's paying child support, why is Dorothy getting child support when Keimani is not with you? Were you getting it only for that year? What we know from my source is that Dorothy did not have her own kids. They weren't staying with her. Both of them were allegedly adopted. Okay. She went on to record by saying, Dorothy to keep on her with great effort. Okay, a family member kept in touch with me. She had attempted with valiant effort and a big heart to take in all 4 of Dorothy's children to keep them out of foster care. Remember, Tierra and Sanika got online and said that they were in foster care. Tierra, Sanika, Latrell, and Denitra. This person was not sure how long this person had them. Sanika and Denitra were adopted by a woman named Millie and moved for Toledo Police Department, who worked for the Toledo Police Department. And she moved to Indianapolis. The other woman had Tierra and Latrell. So you didn't have your own kids, and now you got this baby. Now you got this baby. The godmom probably. Let me know what you mean, Emma. Let me know what you mean. So right now, I want to make sure, because I keep checking every day to see if we have any services for Kimani, like a date. Because it appears they already did a lot of the autopsy. Let me see. Nothing. No information about her services yet. And I know they raised the money at this point. I know they raised the money at this point. Let me see real quickly. I'm gonna look at that thing one more time. Look at that thing one more time. Because y'all know another funeral home was going to be taking care of the services, and then that changed because allegedly they were the company that was going to be handling Keimani services were renting another funeral home. For whatever reason, that didn't go down. People are saying that there was threats being done. I'm not sure. So it says Brown Legacy Memorial was originally slated to handle the funeral, but a spokesperson announced Saturday it would no longer be holding the services. They added that roughly $6,000 in donation raised would be transferred to a funeral home. Now, people are saying that it costs more than that to have a funeral. Is that true? And we're going to transfer the responsibility. So Brown Legacy shared the announcement. Okay, so Brown Legacy Memorial Funeral Home will no longer be holding the services for Kimani. Brown Legacy shared the announcement on Saturday, saying that the process to transfer the funeral is already underway. The announcement did not say which funeral home. We know now that it's Dale Riggs. The funeral home had announced just yesterday that the community donated $6,000. And they was going to do both. When they were going to do it, it was going to be both private and a public. We don't know about that. It's unclear at this time what prompted the change in the venue. The statement from Brown said it does not become a distraction. It does not want to become a distraction. Oh, that's right. Oh my God, I remember now. There was something that was going on about the Brown Legacy allegedly being involved in something. I'm gonna keep it right there. I do remember hearing one of the reasons why they were not going to handle it. I do remember hearing one of the reasons why. Yeah, we're gonna come on out of there, y'all. But yeah, that's what we got going on for that. So what I want to do now is put this back on. What I want to do now is I had a lot of people that were asking me questions about writing. Oh man, heck yeah, full funeral be about $10,000 or more. $10,000 for a funeral? Why? Are we talking about? Okay, we talking about the service, the embalming, burial, all of that. Let me know. Okay, so I have been getting a lot of questions about people writing their stories. Listen, I have spent 20 years writing stories. I'm telling y'all, there are so many people who want to hear your story. You may think where you are that people don't want to hear your story. Folks want to hear your story. I'm telling you. So I'm going to show y'all really quickly how I write my stories in the event that you want to, because again, I've been getting a lot of it. These are like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps that I use to write a story. Let's say it don't have to be as detailed or as crazy as, you know, what's going on with Kimani and Isaiah. It could be you surviving a divorce or you know, any of that. These are how I write my books. And I have written at this point over 108 and counting. Okay. I got 2 books that's coming up, one Lemon. I got Redbone. I got a few coming up. Okay, so one of the first things when I'm talking about writing my story, and again, we need stories, people that are brave enough to tell their stories, is the reason I am writing it. So when I talk about the reason, it's what lesson do I want my hero to learn? Now, I write anti-villain heroes stories. Mine's are anti-villains. So I like people that got stuff that's going on so that I can teach them something. Then there's a false belief that you have to be that you have to get what you want. We're going to go into that, but you don't have to get what you want. What you have to have, though, is something that you're trying to teach your main character. You do have to have something that they want strongly. In your story, you are God. Your hero has his own goals. So you may be wanting to teach him. Let's say I may be wanting to teach him that you are ruining your relationships because you don't know how to treat people. That's maybe what I want to teach you. But they may want something different, like the girl, the ball, the car, or any of that. But you got to make sure that they know what it is that they want. These are for people who want to tell their story. I'll be getting a lot of it in my comments. And I got a lot of videos too, guys. A whole lot of videos on my channel where I'm teaching people. Okay. And then from that, though, I'm going to also put this up before I forget. Let me take that out. Let's take this out. I'll put that up in a minute. Okay, so I got videos upon videos on my channel for how to write books. I was teaching people for free how to write books for probably like a year and a half, too. And a lot of those videos are there. Then when you have what your hero wants, you want to know the messy traits. So the messy traits in a story are the thing that is keeping your hero from getting what they want. So let's say your hero wants the girl. Their messy trait may be that they're nasty, that they don't know how to clean up, that they don't know how to talk to people, that they are a serial cheater. You got to make sure that you do at least 6 of them. Your hero is his own worst enemy. And so although the hero has a goal, his messy traits are what stops him. I got 4 right here, but I'd like to have 6. You got to have that, right? What is the push out of the window moment? So for all my writers, if life is going the same in your story, you wake up, go to sleep, wake up and go to sleep, it's boring. Okay? Wake up, go to sleep, wake up and go to sleep, it's boring. There has to be something that makes it big and makes things where the hero has to deal with it. If he wants the girl, it could be the girl ends up taking him to court. The girl that he didn't even know that he wanted takes him to court. And now his life is not the same. You got to have this moment on number 4. That's the only way your book is not going to be boring. You got to, and it's got to be big. And it's got to be so big that they can't continue to do the same things that they've been doing. Okay? Number 5, using your hero's messy traits against him or her. How can the villain destroy the hero's plans? Generally, it's good to have a villain. So the villain is somebody maybe that wants the girl that he may want. Or a villain can be their own thoughts and issues in their heads. I like those kind of situations because it makes it even more complex. You know how you have that person that's screaming at you, an imposter. He's preventing you from getting your goal. Okay. Finally, messy traits resolve, but does he get the goal? So you go through my steps. Number 6, we're going to resolve the messy traits because that's how you make sure a hero changes. We're going to make sure we resolve the messy traits. But it doesn't mean he may get what he wants. He may not get the girl, but the messy traits are going to be resolved, and so he is arced. These are for all my people who have been asking me over and over and over again about this. Okay, now I have this thing available on the Elite Writer, and all my resources are available on the Elite Writers Academy. So if people want more material for how to write their stories, you can visit the EliteWritersAcademy.com. I have that, but these are my steps. I don't miss a step when I do these. Okay, I don't miss a step when I do these. If you have more questions, then put them in my comments. So let me see. Hey, Gina, can you post that in chat or give a link, please? Yes, Star, I will definitely post this in my chat. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. I have started a book. Please start it and then continue to do it. One of the things that I see sometimes, not all the times, is the people that we need to hear the stories from don't do the books. I don't know for what reason. I'm gonna do it once this video uploads. That way I can make sure that it don't go away. I'm gonna do that. I'll make sure once this uploads that I put it in there. That way you'll have it. 10K is enough. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Felicia, we were talking about the fact that they had donated $6,000 for Kimani and her funeral. And I don't feel like you need much more than that. Thank you, Sharice. Yes. I don't see why, but luckily I have not had to run into situations where I have to do funerals. And I have not ran into that because I always say when it's my time, I'm quite all right with being cremated. Oh, sorry. I'm quite all right with being cremated. So that's what we have, guys. I'm gonna this person, my source has been so. First of all, if you're watching, thank you for letting me know. I love when we have people that come in and they clarify because there's been so many questions, even though it's been said over and over again. If you're watching this for the first time, number one, is Dorothy Keimani's real biological grandmother? Yes. Tiara said that is her mother. Okay. Dorothy had 4 children, 1 boy, 3 girls, and they were adopted out young, allegedly. So she had her own children taken away from her. Is Darnell the father? Yes. Tiara says that he is. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I kind of see it a little bit. Look at the pictures right here. Can y'all see the similarities or is it me? I ain't talking about the complexion. It's hard considering what happened, I know. But I kind of see the similarities. Yes, that's my wish too, and my aunt's wish to be cremated. Yeah, I don't gotta have all that. You know, if anything, I want y'all to have a party. So he is, by Tiara says she's known him since she was 19. Known him since she was 19. Please subscribe, y'all, if y'all haven't. Y'all just popping in. So this is the father. So that is the father. Tiara is claiming that they came when Kimani was a baby, they being Dorothy and I believe the godmother, and took access to the baby early. There's also my source saying some mental health issues that are involved, which is probably why we're going to be slow fed this situation. And be prepared though, guys, too, that we won't find out anything if Darnell takes a rap for all of this. I believe Toledo is trying to make this go away. They don't want to have a long, drawn out trial because if they do that, then what they did is going to come out. I don't think they want to have no long, drawn out trial. I'm trying to see this again. If people didn't see it, they ended up having to move Kimani's, all of her stuff from in front of the house to the side of the house. They end up moving all of Kimani's stuff from the side of the house because they're going to demo the house. And someone said earlier today that that people are asking not to just do that one, but that they do another one. I mean that they do all of them. You know, they could be doing this one because as a memorial to get rid of what happened to her, and so in her honor. But it just, to me, they got to it real quick. They got to it real quick, and that's how it looks, you know, pretty much now, with all the stuff being moved away and then placed down at the other end. And who cleans this up? Because I know Kimani, like, who takes care of that kind of stuff? I'm sure probably the city will too, but that's what it looks like now. That's what it looks like now. Okay, guys, so look, I'm going to be back on Saturday because I'm going to be making sure, let me see, still can't wrap my head around these poor babies and these horrific crimes against them. Hope they all get justice. I think they will. What we said last week, on my last live on last Saturday, was that we need to continue to do what we're doing, which is saying something, because a lot of people are saying, you know, let Kimani rest, let Desire rest. I'm telling you right now, when you go, I believe when you go to a different realm, that you connect it to source. And that's love and peace and energy. I'm sure these babies want their names not to just live for this moment, you know, with this memorial, with the service. I believe that they want something to happen as a result of this. So the only way that that's going to happen is if we continue to do what we're doing. Our interest in this case, making sure that we say something, that we see something, that we say something, that we don't let nobody silence us. So it's not about, no, let folks rest. No, folks don't want to just rest. Folks want this to stop happening to their kids or to children. I've been talking about this all of my almost 20 years. So no, it's not just about a balloon. Yeah, they keep on saying they don't see the similarities, or, you know, let it be different, but it's very much the same. Age. Both had grandmothers that were supposed to be taking care of them. Both of them. I mean, you can't get more creepier than that. Naziah, and we talking about Naziah Harris, if you don't know. Naziah Harris had a similar situation where she was living with her grandmother, Annette Harris, and Annette allowed Shannon Harris. Shannon Harris is Annette Harris's daughter, and she had a boyfriend, Jarvis Butts, who was a registered PDF. And Annette allowed this man to be around this child, knowing that, even going to his shop to allegedly clean up. Even allegedly going to the shop to clean up. Annette allowed that to go down. She was the guardian. She was also her grandmother. In this case, Keimani's, a grandmother was also in charge. And the grandmother allowed this man, who in this case is her father, but there's still things that you got to keep a hold on and got to pay attention to. And as a result, Kimani's not here. So there are a lot of similarities. You say I'm not giving the funeral home nothing. Why are you not giving the funeral home? All of the tributes at the house look beautiful too. Why you say you ain't giving them nothing? I think you can make it work for $6,000. I think you can make it work for $6,000. I don't think you need more. I think you can make it work for $6,000. I really do. Why haven't they said anything about him talking to the police? Right. So this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Felicia. I think he hasn't confessed yet. I think they want him to. I think they want him to get rid of it. But if he does that, we won't find out more. Because like I said earlier, you've been with me all since I've had my life, since I've been doing this. But like I said earlier, to have a trial will mean that everybody is exposed, even Dorothy and her shortcomings, which also means that Toledo would be on trial, and they may not want to do that. So if he confesses, we won't have. I believe they want him to go away, but I have yet to hear him say I confess. Dorothy said it. Dorothy said it. But if he got the right lawyer, the lawyer gonna say, well, he was under, because she said it right when they had him. If he gets the right lawyer, though, the lawyer will say, well, he may have said it under duress or any of that. So yeah, that was a lot of stuff to move, Felicia. They end up having like a lot of people came and moved it. You see all these people? A lot of people came and moved it. And I was asking who gonna move it? Let the city do it. Y'all can take care of it when it's time. But then when is a good time to do that? I always thought about that. Like, you know, I feel like if you take it up before she's laid to rest, I feel like people will get mad and get very violent. So I think that they're gonna probably keep it there for a while until after, at least a little bit while until after. But I believe they're really trying to let this house go so that they can move past this real quick. I'm coming live again on a Saturday. I'm also going to be talking about on April 15th. I know this is a little bit far out, but I'll also be talking about on April 15th to Kelly Bryant, because she has a probable cause hearing, and I'm going to be talking about that. If he confesses and takes a deal, normally he has to detail the crime. So he has to detail the crime, but then you wouldn't have a trial, right? And make sure y'all follow me on TikTok too. Please follow me on TikTok. I just been posting as of January and up until March. I'm same one, Author T Styles over there on TikTok. But he won't have a trial, right? He'll say what happened, but he may not bring in and say what. Okay, so if he confesses, confessions means that this was me. I'll tell you what it is I did, but nobody else was involved. So if he does that, we're not going to find out more information. If he says not guilty by reason of insanity, then we got to start looking at everything. So that's the part. Or if he says not guilty, period, I don't see how you wouldn't be. If they find the DNA on Kimani, because they said somebody chopped off these, but did they find them? Somebody went on record saying that the family said all parts are there. Then I don't know. It's going to be based off his plea, how much we know. If he says not guilty by reason of insanity, they're going to come in, do the trial, and then we got to start pulling everybody. If he says I'm guilty, then this is going to get buried under the rug quick. It has been a lot of are you serious? Wow. This is why we need to keep talking. Madeline Soto's mom sent her daughter. Hey, that's all. I covered that one. I covered that one on my channel, because a lot of people are know, because they know that generally a lot of the topics I do are African American. But I covered that one too, because that one also pissed me off, because she was on watch and allowed it to happen, and it made no sense. That was not his biological daughter. And then she allowed them to be, you know, in the same. That was just crazy. I covered that when the mother was on record being involved in that, you know, not in terms of what he did later, but just seeing that whole process through. But that's all. Her ex-husband went on record and said that she had mental health issues. We don't keep the kids around you, but if y'all not getting the care that y'all need, y'all don't need to have kids at all. Y'all need to have some kind of go to school, some kind of program, something where if you do have mental health, we need to make sure that these children are safe so that they won't run into this kind of situation. So it's not enough to just say you have mental health if you're not doing anything about it. In other words, that's what I'm saying. No trial if he confessed. See, that's what I'm saying. He'll be sentenced in court, but that's it. I believe that's what Toledo wants. I believe that's what Toledo's want. Unlike with the Naziah Harris case, that judge said, like, she's seriously considering, even though I don't know if she's presiding over it, but she's considering bringing charges for Annette, Shannon, and anybody else who's involved when he go. And I believe Jarvis, who's a full-fledged narcissist, is definitely going to point the fingers at them. That Naziah Harris case, more than one head is going to roll. In this one, we got to wait and see what he says, what she says, or what he says once he is pulled in. So I'm going to be back on Saturday, guys. Please make sure you subscribe. I'm going to come back. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going to be keeping y'all abreast. And if I get any more updates, then I will definitely let y'all know. Thank you for commenting. And I will see you all soon. Bye.